Hey, I'm Casey, and this is Jamz, where I talk about music and what I love about it every week. This week, we're talking about the Wreck's debut album, Infinitely Ordinary. So I have a little bit of a story before delving into the album. I first saw the Wreck's open for All Time Low in the summer of 2017 when they were doing their Last Young Renegades tour, an album I will firmly defend with every fiber of my being, but that's not what this is about. And I remember they were the first openers, and I think they only played 5 songs, but I immediately fell in love with them and their songs and their vibe and everything. And so the next year they released an EP, and I was thrilled because before that they only had 3 singles out. So I was thrilled to have this EP. And then it was just like nothing. We just got like nothing. And every single time I would play their music or I would recommend them to a friend, the friend would be like, okay, like where's, like, do they have an album or anything besides this? And I'm like, no. Well, long story short, I have been waiting 3 entire years for their debut album. So what a relief it's finally here. I will say though, that even though I have waited 3 years for their debut album, that just means that my standards for it were so unbelievably high. Like, if this album fell short in any way, shape, or form, I would be the first to admit it because I've been waiting for 3 years, so I clearly have some high expectations. And if it doesn't meet that, unfortunately, I'm going to be honest about it. But fortunately, it does. I know, what a relief, right? And frankly, not to like gush, but it kind of surpassed my expectations, which was very reassuring and a huge relief. However, I'm not entirely shocked because something that I really admire about this band is their dedication to making something perfect, like really working at something until they think it's perfect and good enough to give to the public. So I'm not shocked that it took 3 years, and I'm not shocked that it's great because it took 3 years, but nonetheless, thrilled that it's finally here. So this album was released May 1st, which makes it a Taurus, meaning that it should be determined, stubborn, and a little jealous, which frankly, given all the themes and everything about the album, I think it pretty much fits that bill. So to delve into the album, I feel like it really captures what it's like to be in your 20s. And I am currently 23, so I do have the professional right to make that call. Every theme that the album deals with it in such an intense way, whether it be through intense music, intense sounds in general, or intense lyrics. So it's me editing this video you're watching now. I realized I never explained what I meant by intense lyrics and intense sounds and music. I just mean like the kind of music that you feel in your bones and the kind of lyrics that like hit you like a metaphorical punch to the gut. I hope that helps. Which to me just mimics how it feels to be in your 20s. You're finally an adult. You've probably fallen in love once, or what you believe is love, and you've probably had your heart broken. Regardless of how severe all of these things were, I can guarantee that you probably felt them pretty intensely at the time. And when you listen to these songs, it's clear that they are also dealing with it in this kind of emotionally intense way. For example, Feels So Nice, which is a song that I literally have not stopped listening to, has this infectious ability to bring you back to that feeling of being in love and that feeling of falling in love with someone in this reckless and kind of stupid way. The kind of love that just feels nice, but somehow also consumes you. However, with every sentiment that is brought up in Feels So Nice, we get a song like Fuck Somebody, a song that is about desperately trying to find a way to get out of a relationship without feeling like the bad guy, whether that be the person cheating on you, stealing money from you, anything bad, just so long as you're not the bad guy. And then we also get Out of Style, which to me has to be one of the most intense and ruthless breakup songs that I think I have ever heard, which is, in short, basically about one-upping your ex. And while there is that huge distinction between the upbeat songs like Feel So Nice and Fuck Somebody and Out of Style, which are all upbeat, but obviously deal with very, very different emotions, positive and negative, there's also this third layer on top of everything when you get to the song For. And it's soft and it's melancholic and it just makes you feel heavy. And it's all about and so what's really cool is the fact that you get all these extreme emotions of falling in love, getting your heart broken, that anger after a breakup, all these kinds of emotions, and you get them in such varying ways. There's so much diversity in the sound and the meaning to all these songs in this album, and I just think that that is a testament to the amount of work that went into this album. I mean, like I said, you get the songs that make you feel like you're falling in love again, the ones that bring you back to that extreme anger that you felt after breaking up with someone. So essentially, what I'm getting at is that this album is 8 songs, so it does seem like it's a little bit on the shorter side, especially with how long albums are getting these days. But in its own remarkable way, in these 8 songs, it manages to capture a whole range of emotions and scenarios and events and reactions that all just, to me, seem like they mimic life in your 20s. Like, you hear these songs and you're immediately taken back to a scenario in your own life. Like, for example, the song Fuck Somebody. Maybe you have not been in a situation where you wanted your significant other to cheat on you so you could not be the bad guy in terms of a breakup, but I guarantee that you've probably been through a friendship or any other kind of relationship where you've wanted it to stop, but you didn't know how and you didn't want to be the bad guy. So when you listen to this song, it triggers that memory for you. So it's like, regardless of how specific the lyrics may be, it doesn't lose this sense of realness, this sense of relatability, because we've all been in the same boat here. It's the overall ideas in each songs that we can relate to on such a deep level. So in short, the songs immediately trigger feelings that we've all gone through, and the music and lyrics working in tandem just help reinforce the realness and the relatability of this album. So to me, this is the kind of album that is reminiscent of driving really fast but safely still down the highway with your windows down, with the exception of 4, which I think should be reserved to playing in your parked car in the rain, or alternatively playing alone in your bedroom while you are hugging a pillow. Those are the 2 moods. It's music that makes you feel like you have air in your lungs for the first time in a long time. It's reminiscent of screaming with your friends, falling in love, and the kind of heartbreak that makes you rage and also feel like you were crushed to bits. It's very versatile, I guess, is what I'm getting at. It has this restlessness to it, this kind of feeling that it is filled to the brim with energy, even in the slower songs. Which brings me to the last thing I want to mention about this album, the titular song, Infinitely Ordinary, which to me, I cannot think of a better way to end this album, nor a more comforting song to hear right now, in my opinion. Saying I could get used to this life, treasuring the idea of the ordinary, is just so nice to hear, and it's so real. It's nice to hear a song that puts the ordinary kind of day-to-day life on a pedestal. I feel like we don't get that often, but it really is just kind of an ode to that lifestyle, an ode to living slowly, treasuring the times with your friends, your family, the little things, the little slow things that you take for granted when you're growing up, an ode to the ordinary life of falling in love, spending time with your friends, getting your heart broken, an ode to slowing down and treasuring this life. So now we get to the coveted question of, how do I rank these songs? Well, this is how I rank the songs. And honestly, it was very hard for me to rank them because when I was listening through the album and taking my notes like I usually do, I have one section that's like notes about the album, and then I have a list of all the songs in the album so I can rank them 1 through however many songs there are. And I forgot about my list because I loved this album so much. So this is my rank. Don't take it all that seriously because I love all the songs, but that's it. So that is my attempt at talking about the Rex debut album, Infinitely Ordinary. Like I said, I've waited for this for a very long time, and it exceeded my expectations. I just think that it is a beautiful piece about living life and about the ordinary, about falling in love, getting your heart broken, being lonely, not feeling like you deserve certain things in life, not knowing if you will ever get certain things in life. Like, all these little things that pile up and are part of our day-to-day lives, it makes them into amazing songs that everyone can relate to. Like, what more could you want from an album, right? So yeah, I anticipated this for 3 years and it certainly did not disappoint. And I really can't wait for whatever comes from the Rex next, and hopefully it won't take another 3 years. I mean, I'm joking. If it takes another 3 years, I'm sure it's going to be amazing, but please don't take another 3 years to make an album because this was so good. I don't want to wait another 3 years. I'm very, very selfish. So like I said, a really great album. It's only 8 songs, so I highly recommend checking it out. they're probably my favorite band out there. Their work ethic's great. Their music's great. Like, they don't want to put anything out unless they think that it's worthy of people to listen to, and I certainly think this is. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of my rank. Let me know if you listen to the album. Let me know if you're definitely going to now, which you should, like I said. Let me know if I should talk about a certain album next. Leave anything you want for me in the comments below. Feel free to subscribe. Every week I talk about different albums that I love and what I love about them and all this other stuff. So yeah, if that interests you, why not subscribe? So that's all. I'm gonna go listen to this album again because I really, really love it, if you couldn't put that together. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.